This project examines the future of computational creativity using design fiction to create prototypes that facilitate critical discussion around the future of computing in the arts. Our aim is to create a futures catalog of potential uses of computational creativity that may appear years into the future with the goal to initiate conversations, debates, discussions, and interactions around the future of computational creativity and its impact on the creative arts. Speculative design, in the simplest terms, refers to the use of design as a means of speculating how things could be. Speculative design thrives in imagination and aims to open up new perspectives and problems and stimulate discussions and debates in alternate ways of being. It focuses on the idea of possible futures and uses them as tools to identify the kind of futures people want and the ones that people fear. Coming on to design fiction, formally it can be defined as the deliberate use of diegetic prototypes to suspend disbelief about change, laying emphasis on digestives which can include text, objects, and films. Design fiction is a more recent manifestation of speculative design and draws inspiration from science fiction, literature, and cinema. It typically highlights prototypes through video of scenarios instead of through working models or prototypes. Speculative design or design fiction does not claim to provide answers or conclusions to the questions it asks, but rather provide a more critical approach to future research and technological development. Julian Bleecker, a pioneer in the field of design fiction, says, in the end, design fiction is a way to talk about a near future. It is not a specification, nor is it an aspiration or prediction. The work design fiction does is to encourage conversations about the kinds of futures we'd prefer, even if that requires us to represent the futures we fear. As people get to know about our work and the field of speculative design, we hope that they start to become comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Speculative design helps in the research on uncertain technological futures and uses these discussions as a medium for speculation, and in this case, can be used to think about the future of computational creative systems and their potential impact on the society. Computational creativity is a subfield of AI research, much overlapping with cognitive science and other areas, where we build and work with computational systems that create artifacts and ideas, which, if observed in humans, would be deemed creative. It is usually associated with disciplines like mathematics and science, poetry and storytelling, music, architecture, video games, and graphic design, the visual, and even the culinary arts. The project is based on thorough literature review, which helped us build a fundamental understanding of the prior existing work on AI so as to build on the studies and formulate newer discussions around the computational creativity of the future. Future studies often focus on long term futures, typically from 5 to 50 years. These methods help in creating alternative futures by making basic assumptions problematic. It is disruptive, challenging the current framework instead of seeking to make strategies more effective. This project focuses on the possible futures of AI creative systems 20 years from now while evaluating the scenarios that we wish to encounter in the future and the ones we don't. Design fiction can take form of narratives, short stories, films, but also objective objects and semi-working prototypes. We employed design fiction methods, diegetic prototyping, to construct and debate on the ideas and props of the future. Diegetic prototypes, generally in the form of short films, showcase a future prop in a future scenario, indicating its impact and leaving food for thought in the minds of the viewers. The project uses Badal's criticality framework to bring about a sense of objectivity and structure for examining the work criticality, thus helping us conceptualize, develop, and reiterate upon ideas and props, keeping in mind their criticality. Further on, we use the EXF method or the ethnographic experiential futures method to design our futures workshop. It provides a way of inviting engagement with diverse participants with a view to promoting a more diverse and deeper array of available futures for our consideration.
A futures workshop is a futures technique that involves discussion and deliberation by a group of people to generate ideas. Futures workshop revolve around critiquing, learning, teamwork, democracy, and empowerment. We conducted a futures workshop to generate product ideas for a futures product catalog in the domain of computational creativity. We followed the EXF framework for concretizing the structure of the workshop. It witnessed 14 males and 2 females in the age group of 19 to 22 years. The participants toyed with co creative AI tools in the domain of art, music, poetry, and mathematics. They even worked on future scenarios and possibilities, followed by critical discussions around the same. The workshop lasted for 4 to 5 hours, giving us great ideas to work upon and build exciting props. Moving forward, our work consists of generating comprehensive prop ideas stemming from discussions and activities conducted in the workshop. This would be followed by another workshop which gathers feedback from the participants regarding the props through the lens of Bartzel's framework. The consolidated props will be showcased in a futures catalog which would represent our exploration of the future of computational creativity.